Okay, you want to give us our intro song?
Ba-dum-bum.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the Quality Time Podcast. It's another week.
It is.
This is what, episode 6? Mm-hmm. I think eventually we're going to have to just stop saying the episode number and just say welcome to Quality Time, since we're already losing track of it.
Yes.
It's like, how many episodes have we had? Are we going to do that at like, welcome to episode 1324? No, we're not going to do that.
No.
You
It's
know
too
why?
much to remember.
Because we're never going to last that long. That's a lot of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if we're going to live that long.
I think we are.
1,000 more weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but I think we'd be pretty old then.
Yeah. We'll still be doing this.
Oh, 1,000 weeks. Yes, not 1,000 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
I got my weeks and my months mixed up.
Yeah.
Apparently, a month is 4 times as long as a week if you do the math.
Yeah.
And so it was 4 times that long.
Did you know that next year's a leap year?
I would if I looked at the calendar.
Yeah.
But I didn't. You know why?
29 days.
Because I threw it away in the trash.
You did.
Yeah. Why would you leave me a calendar with dying children on it?
Because it's a calendar.
She
and
left
I got it for free.
She left me a St. Jude's Children's Hospital calendar.
Actually, we donated. That's how we got it.
She had it on my desk with a little note that said, "Hey babe, if you want this." And it's like, I mean, yeah, I could technically use a calendar. I have one, so I didn't need
Not
it.
for next year.
But even still,
The 2020.
okay, well, I'd rather get a calendar that doesn't have a bunch of sick kids staring at me every day just to make me feel bad. No offense to the sick kids. I want them to get better and be on a calendar of healthy people.
Yeah, but it's also why we get the calendar is because we donate. So they're thanking
Well, that makes
us.
me feel good enough that I don't need to feel sad every single day when I look at my itinerary.
You don't have to be sad because we're helping them.
No, I'm pretty sad. I mean, it's sad when kids have cancer.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you got to compartmentalize life and focus on what's ahead of you and not be brought down by all the sad realities of.
But that's why you should look at it too,
this
because
world.
then it tells you every day, live your life to the fullest.
It doesn't tell me
for
that.
The kids.
It just brings me down. I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
But then every single day I have to compare my life to all these sick kids. And then I'm like, well, now I feel bad that my life's so much better than all these sick kids. God, what am I complaining about?
Exactly.
Got to check my emails.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Check yourself.
Well, this started off strong. Already,
Talking about sick kids.
yeah. Getting me ranting when you were the one who wanted to rant on this podcast. Do you want to rant, Erin?
Yes.
Do you have some things to get off your chest?
I am so livid right now.
What happened?
Beyond
I can tell.
compare.
You can tell how angry she is.
I was earlier. I was like shaking and freaking out.
That was stressful.
Yeah. So my Uber account got hacked.
Mm-hmm.
My Uber Eats account. And these people bought lobster for like $75, $50, $30. 9 times they charged my account this afternoon. 9 different times.
9 times in different states.
In Illinois, New York, and some other city in Florida.
Yeah. All over the place. A bunch of meals, all ordered, same time.
Yeah.
They were all like in excess of $50.
Mm-hmm. Back-to-back orders.
And I'm trying to think what the scam is there, because that's not somebody who's like, oh, I'm getting all this food for me. He's sending it to all these different locations. So probably what's happening is they have some website or some way where people are like ordering, get a deal. Basically, they're like, oh, I can order from this guy $50 worth of food and it only costs us $20 because they're just paying him $20 and he basically keeps the $20, but he's charging it all to your account like $75, $80.
Yeah.
So these people are like, wow, this is great. You get Uber Eats for super cheap. And it's like they probably have like a whole bunch of different accounts that they just order different. So if somebody orders and it comes into them, they just send it out on somebody else's Uber Eats.
Yeah. Like I checked my email this morning and
I can't think of any other way that that's profitable for one person
either.
Or for like a company, unless they're just like ordering food for a bunch of different people.
Yeah, because I could see it more if you were doing that. You would get a free meal, a bunch of free meals, but it was from different places. But if you got the free meal and then I would go to Uber and be like, these are fraudulent, and then they would reimburse me and they would just get free food. Like, cool. woo, food, lobster. But it was like from so many different places.
It's like going into and like
person.
getting a bunch of stolen like gift cards for $100 and you sell them to somebody for like 10, $15 because that person's like, hell yeah. And you're like, hell yeah, I just got cash for something that I didn't pay anything for.
Yeah. So when I looked at my email this morning before all these transactions, it was saying that my Uber account got signed in to in a different location, and one of them was India. And immediately once I saw that,
Were you
I
in
was
India
like,
this
fuck.
morning, Erin? Maybe you were. You do always want to order some exotic food, like
I love Indian food.
Yeah,
Indian food is great.
Did you wake up and go to India and order some Uber Eats
for the
to get
States?
delivered to you on a little tricycle?
No, to get ordered in the United States. I went to India to order food. Over in the United
so
States.
the charge said it came from India, but it was delivered in the U.S.?
In my email, where it said that my Uber account was logged into, was a phone or a computer or whatever over in India.
Fucking Indians.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm like,
do you want to go on a racist tirade right now?
No, but like I do, but...
That's what sucks about our culture is you can't even call shit out like these fucking Indians who just call and scam and somehow get your shit.
Fucking hackers.
I mean, there's a billion people over there and they got to make a living somehow. I watch a YouTube guy who he is like an anti-scammer. So all these scammers that call from like India to embezzle money, not embezzle, but somehow trick people into getting money.
Yeah.
He basically intercepts those calls and like plays along because he's like a hacker and a smart computer dude. I forget what the channel is, popular channel on YouTube, but he's always like talking to these Indian people and he like records all the conversation and goes through the whole scam and like wastes all their time and they think they're going to get like this old lady who's about to give him like, I'm going to the bank right now. And he's like, he keeps it on character. And then like, you know, they always end up losing their shit by the end of it and get super pissed because he wastes their time and calls them out on their scam. And then he'll ask them sometimes questions like, why do you do this? And it's just like, those people have an attitude of like, fuck you, man. I got to make a living out here and this is my job and this is what I got to do. And I'm hustling.
So crazy.
And to each his own. Don't judge me. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I respect the hustle, but also fuck you.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so sad because then it's like, who do you trust when you are talking to a bank or
that's why old people get scammed all the time.
I know. The
it's
IRS
because they
calls
just see something with authority and they're like, oh, okay, I got to do that. I mean, this is official. And, you know, you have to learn how to check the URL that you're communicating with or where the email address comes from and know that it's coming from a legit domain name that can't be spammed.
My mom today
spoofed.
Yeah, she bought us Busch Gardens passes for Christmas.
Woo!
Yeah.
Thank you. Best
you.
Christmas gift ever. So we can get another year of roller coasters
Hell yeah.
because 2020 RMC Gwazi is opening up in Busch Gardens, Tampa, and I get to ride it. And nobody knows what I'm talking about because I don't think I have a huge roller coaster fanatic fan base on this channel yet. But if you guys know who RMC is out there, shout out, leave a comment.
Yes.
So exciting. Anyways.
Yes. So I had to call up Busch Gardens and cancel my fun card or like my Easy Pass and stuff that I pay monthly for. And as I called them up, I was telling them that my mom bought it for me, yada, yada. And they were like, well, did they buy it through Busch Gardens site? And I was like, I asked her, she said, yes, I bought it online. So I was like, yes. And she was like, are you sure she didn't get it through a third party? So she showed me how she went about it. She was like, I put it into Google, Busch Gardens passes. And I scrolled down one thing and I just clicked on it and it was some third party. And I was like, you need to check your little URLs because it'll be much easier if you go through their actual site.
Learn how to Google. Yeah, and don't click the sponsored link at the top.
So
I mean, it probably is Busch Gardens. But
she went to the second sponsored link. The first one was Busch Gardens, and the second one was a third party. Yeah. And I was like, you should have just like clicked the first ad instead of the second ad.
It's so hard to teach people though how to.
Especially with that, yeah, you would think.
Because you're just going to be skeptical of everything. It's a bit of intuition and just experience of being on the internet for a long time. And you got to understand how URLs work and domain names and emails. And you need to know of like phishing attacks and ways people like sniff your information and try to get you to provide it to like fake websites and things like that.
Yeah.
And if you're not aware of that, you just easily can be tricked, you know?
Same thing with the post office. Whenever I try to hold my mail, I have to like scroll through a bunch to actually find the postal service instead of ones there's like a bunch of third-party ones. I'm like, who would use that? You have to like put out your information and your address and your name and all of this. I'm like, that's really sketchy.
No.
Like, I don't know who you are. Why? Just give me the post office. I'll put my information there and ask them to hold my mail. Not gonna have.
I know you need to
holdmymail.com. Like,
well, somehow your internet security has been breached and they somehow got your Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Which is a very specific way to try to get money, I guess. Free
understand.
Lobsters.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to lock down your security more.
And so when
I've been training her how to be more secure online.
Yes.
By one, putting a passcode on her phone. That's your first barrier to, saving your digital identity. If you get drunk somewhere and leave your phone.
Yes. Which never happens.
Yeah, only dozens of times.
Not when I'm drunk. We're just going out to eat and I just leave it on the table.
Dude, you lose your phone and you're just straight up like, oh well. And it's like, how do you do that? That is, I literally, if I had for a second thought I lost my phone, my heart would almost stop.
First of all,
and my night would be ruined. There's absolutely no way I could just continue on with the night after my phone is gone. There's
usually
just no
if
way.
I lose my phone, it's at the house. I just didn't bring it with me. Oh, my phone isn't in my purse. Oh, I must have just left it at home because I'm never on my phone.
Especially if I knew I didn't have a passcode on it and like whoever has my phone can just go through it right now.
Well, I don't think people are like that because I don't do that. If I found a phone,
people aren't like people.
I wouldn't look through it.
Oh, no. People don't just do things that people do. Like, hey, here's a phone. Let's just see what's on here.
Treat others as you'd want to be treated.
Yes.
And that's what I do. And I don't go through people's shit.
Treat others how you expect to be treated. And I expect people to go through my phone when they have it. Most people do that even if they're trying to help because they're like, whose phone is this? Hopefully I can find out who it is. Or maybe there's a friend or maybe somebody's messaging.
Contacts more, whatever.
Okay, who knows what's in my contacts? First of all, that's still going through my shit. Okay, I might have just confessed my love to you and that's embarrassing. Somebody's going to read that. Contacts? What if I just sent you a dick pic?
That'd be in your text messages.
Yeah, and they're reading that because they're trying to get a hold of you or me or my mom, whoever has my phone.
Well, now they can't
give me my phone
because I have a passcode.
Okay, that's step one. And then I told you to change all your passwords.
Which I did.
And not just use, I love Erin 10E3. I mean, don't use some fucking obvious password is my point. And then
put my password out there.
Well, you changed them all now, right? Even as I'm saying that, I'm like, that probably is one of her passwords. I was trying to think of the most obvious password I could think of. And I think I probably hit on some. But the point is, change your passwords and save your passwords in a password saver app.
I did.
So that way you have very secure passwords.
So that's what I did when I
are not the same across every service.
When I got that email,
and that you don't have to remember and always forget and have to change your whole fucking account.
Excuse me. When I got that email and I saw that, I immediately went and changed my password. And I did the password generator, so it's like a bunch of random shit.
And that's why I'm like, how did they get in there? And that's such a specific attack, like for them to get into your Uber Eats account.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to know to do that? How are you going to know that she even has an active card on there?
Right.
And then know that you can order all this stuff? So it has to be some bot that's just trying a bunch of accounts or it got compromised through some other means.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah. And two, they were all like delivered and stuff too.
It is super scary to think about like our current digital security and just how much of our life is online and how much, if you just lose a account, you can get back into your bank account and you can prove certain fraud and you might have to jump through some hoops to get some money back or whatever. But just like things, how your whole life is on Instagram, or if you put years of work into YouTube or whatever, and somebody just hacks your account and deletes all your shit or takes over your account somehow, or
that's terrifying.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So you have to really think about how to set up your online presence so that way things are protected.
I know.
And then if something does go wrong, when you get an email saying like, something has happened with your account. What do you do right then?
Instagram,
You're
that's
quickly
happened.
thinking like, fuck, do I cancel my card? Do I cancel this account? Do I change this password?
Who
What
do I
else is this
call?
logged
Like,
into?
yeah.
And you're just freaking out. Like, yeah, let me call Uber. Good luck with that. Let me call my bank. Good luck. It's all automated.
Yeah.
It's all go to this website, send
Uber
an
was
email,
just
fill out
like,
this form.
I called Uber,
Yeah,
and they
and
were
it's
just
like,
like,
no.
go online, click. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like I can't even talk to a human
It's like
being.
literally at this moment, I'm seeing charge after charge after charge hitting my account.
9 charges,
and
yeah.
you're telling me there's no way I can just be like, hey,
Stop it.
Stop doing this
I know.
and give me my money back.
Oh, it was so awful.
No, it's just, it's stressful. It's and
is.
even I was like, fuck.
I was like, please get your phone and help me.
I want to just walk away from this because it's such bad vibes. But at the same time, I know how freaked out I would be
Yeah.
and be like, shit, I have to deal with this now.
Because I couldn't find anything for Uber either.
Yeah.
It was just like everywhere I turned to, there was like click here. And then it was just like nothing helped me at all. Called the number. Oh, go online. Okay, I've been online for 20 minutes, not
Yeah.
finding shit.
No, it's
And same
terrifying.
thing with my bank.
It's got me freaking out about
They're
my
closed.
own digital security. I'm going to rework all my accounts and get everything locked up. And
This is a good lesson. Take
Yeah.
it from me. Check your Uber.
dude, I freak out about just like my
Check your
backups,
everything.
like all my data, you know,
Yeah.
because I have so much video files and stuff that I have on hard drives. And it's like, you can't just put that in the cloud. It's terabytes and terabytes of files. So I have to like have them on hard drives. And just like, if I lose something or if something crashes, and it's just
Yeah.
like that type of stress and anxiety is always on me more than almost anything else. Is like, I feel like there's so many complex moving pieces behind everything that I do that what if I lose access to one of them or something goes, you know, it just stresses me out, and there's really not much you can do. You
Yeah.
can try to plan out your security, plan out your contact, you know, because I dual authenticating, you know, I dual authenticate my accounts or I have, but that fucks you too, because now you're more secure. But then I changed my number and I couldn't think of all the accounts that I had dual authenticated to that number.
Yeah.
So I've locked myself out of my own accounts, very important accounts.
That's awful.
And what are you going to do? You can't get them back. You have to like,
It's gone.
yeah. I mean, I have a plan. I'm going to try to contact whoever has my number and make a deal to get whatever text message code I need to get into my accounts and
Yeah.
then change my number. But that type of shit, you have to think it out. And it's like, it never used to be a thing. This wasn't something people had to do
I know.
15 years ago because you just didn't really care. You could just be like, fuck it, I'll start a new account. But these days, your business is tied to your account, your brand, all of your years of memories.
I know I'm starting
and
my
work.
new Instagram and stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, what if I get like really popular on there or whatever, and it's helping my business and this or that,
Yeah.
and then someone just takes it over.
And it's not just that. It's like with building businesses on all these social networks. And what if they take you down? What if the network shuts down? What if the network kicks you off,
Yeah.
bans you? And I'm going through that right now.
With TikTok,
Yeah.
yep.
Been killing it on TikTok. And I have been suspended twice already for a week at a time. Like just no
And even
warning.
on like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I was building up a big following. I already got over 500,000 views on one of my videos.
Yeah.
A couple thousand
awesome.
followers. I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then just banned for a week, cannot post, can't do anything as I'm getting momentum,
And a
as I'm
week.
put,
That's
and I
so
don't,
long.
yeah, like not a day, not something like this, and no warning, no telling me, doesn't tell me what video happened, you know, just straight up ban. And I have theories, which is a whole nother story. We're gonna have to wait till the other clip, but yeah, so like they just take you down, and I can take that. I've been put on suspension through Twitter or Facebook and Instagram because I make certain jokes that are very edgy, and I understand some are going to cross the line or people aren't going to get the nuance. Whatever, I'll take it on the cheek.
But that's only for like a day or two, right?
Well, even still, it pisses me off.
Of
It
course,
sucks
yes.
because it's like,
But it's not
dude,
that
you're
long.
literally taking down my freedom of speech and my ability to like reach my own people and my own audience and have a voice in the modern world.
Yeah.
All because I didn't fit into your rules of what's appropriate.
And especially if these are American companies.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's scary is you build your whole business on this and somebody can just take it away from you, whether it gets hacked, whether you lose access to it, or whether they just shut you down at any moment. And it's always a bit of an anxiety for me because I'm not somebody who fits within, you know, what is
Who, you?
clearly standard and appropriate for all ages.
Nick Foster?
Yeah, no, I often put out content that's a little bit on the edgy side in today's politically correct
Never have
environment.
known that.
But hold that thought and we'll get back to it after this commercial break.
All right.
And I'm back, but not on TikTok.
Nope.
Because I'm still banned on TikTok.
2 more days.
Yeah, I'm glad you're counting down too.
Yep.
I was like, man, I'm starting to pick up steam. I think I could build a following on here. And I feel that pressure of like the time is moving fast because eventually it's going to saturate and it's going to be hard to like break through. So you got to put as much time and effort in the beginning because that's going to pay off dividends down the road when it saturates. And I feel like I'm just sitting in the corner like, fuck, that's a whole week of content just flying by. And it really bugs me. But then it's also like, okay, even if I do put in all this work and I do build an audience there, they can just take it down at any time. They can just say, no, we don't like you. We don't like your content. You're not good for us. Bye.
That's why you have to get them over to Instagram.
Yeah, you have to diversify. That's the point is like this whole thing, this whole like modern world is built on like your digital presence and you have to think about your security and you need to diversify all your different content channels. And if you want to have a voice and if you want to have influence or if you want to build a business and it's dependent on that, you have to think about all this stuff now. We never really had to do this before.
Yeah.
You could just be like, okay, you know, a lot of people don't even remember their passwords. They're just like, oh, I'll just reset or start a new account or whatever, you know. These days it's really hard to do that because everything affects everything else. And one thing gets compromised, somebody gets into one email address, they can get into your other shit, and then it's like a whole cascading.
You can't have the same password for everything.
And you have to think about that when you're signing up accounts. I'm always thinking like, okay, what account is this going to? And like, how do I manage this in like line with all my other different accounts so I can easily like switch between because I'm always having to jump between. So you have to like figure out a system that they're all different, but they're all easily manageable. And it's a lot to think about.
I did that for this month.
No.
Last month, I got all that in order.
You switched all your passwords.
All of my passwords.
That's good.
None of them are the same. They are all very complicated and long.
And yet,
it's
that's
great.
the time somebody takes over your Uber Eats account.
That one I didn't change because I thought that was like, okay. I was like, who's going to hack into my fucking Uber?
I wouldn't be that worried about that either.
No. Now I'm fucking paranoid. I'm like, okay, I need to change my Netflix.
I literally have written a note now for my to-dos of secure accounts, which I'm going to do tomorrow because even that freaks me out of like, oh, fuck. I need to make sure I got my things in order.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's scary.
It is.
It's stressful.
I keep checking my email like, did anything else come up? Are there any other
There needs to be something for that because like...
I'm surprised Uber doesn't have a thing where if you have multiple transactions, one after the other,
I mean, that's clearly fraud.
States.
You can see anybody with common sense.
But they should have
like
a system that stops that immediately without having to have a person.
So should your bank. But they didn't seem to ask any questions. They were like, yeah, we see these charges. They seem fraudulent, and they took them off.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And two, they're pending, so they haven't gone through yet. And when I called my bank
that's good.
I'm going to go in there tomorrow when I get my new card and stuff and talk to them about it. Because they said there were only 5.
But see, that too.
And I was like, no, there are 9.
It's like, simple. It's like this thing happens and it's just like, oh, okay, cancel the card, get a new card. But even that, you're like, fuck, what accounts do I have this card hooked up on?
Yeah.
I have so many other accounts that rely on this. Now I got to log into those accounts to change them. Where's the passwords for that? Is that secure? And it's just, the stuff
annoying.
becomes so crazy.
There's so much to do.
And then when you get locked out of something like I have, which really sucks, it's like I even own the thing. I can prove that that thing is mine, but everything is digital now that if you don't have the dual authentication number and you don't have the email access to the email address, you don't get to call somebody up and say, hey, I can prove it's me. Like, here's my driver's license. And then just be like, here's your account.
Yeah.
It's really like, well, sorry, you have it set to this number. That's if you don't have access to that number, you don't have access to this account. It seems like in this age, we should have some type of like social security number for our digital presence that like links to all our shit. Any account under your name that you're the owner of, you should have some way to be like, I am the authenticated user for this. If anything does go wrong or you get locked out or somebody hacks it and takes it over and does whatever, that you can prove this is my account, please give it back to me. But there's really, unless you have the email address, if you have the email address, you have the account. That's it. And if somebody gets over your email address or takes over it, you're fucked.
Especially too, because like if you did have that, that number would be saved somewhere, and whoever is hacking it, who can get your email and whatnot, they would also be able to find that number, your special number for.
No, I don't mean like just have a number to type into a form. I just mean some type of real authenticated thing where it's like your ID
Blood.
is no, it would be a technical solution. Like I'm thinking like an app developer.
put your blood
you have an
into your
online
computer.
database that, you know, your Facebook account is a unique ID that goes to you, and
Yeah.
Facebook knows that's you and nobody else. It's just how to access that ID is through your email. If somebody else gets your email,
Yeah.
they can log into that ID. I mean, something like that with like the government system where it's like, or some type of online account system that when you sign up an account on email, there's some database account that you can sign up and say, I'm Erin McCarthy, and any account that I sign up can be authenticated by this one person.
The blood of my firstborn.
I mean, it's kind of what like Facebook login does and things like this. But if you get logged out, kicked out of your Facebook account, what do you do then? That too. What if Facebook kicks you off? And then it's like you
I
have
really care
all
about
these
Facebook,
apps.
but-
I know, and a lot of people don't. I think about this because I'm doing all these content things,
Yeah.
and I'm building a lot of the different things I've done in my company are tied to social media and Facebook accounts,
Yeah.
running advertising. All those different things are done. All the different Facebook pages I do
Yeah.
through my Facebook account. If that gets kicked off, but I've signed up on everything. You know, there's tons of accounts that I've signed up for, from like Spotify to Netflix to lots of things where you just sign
I
up through
always do my
Facebook.
email.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do that
I don't know
too.
if that's better or not,
I have a
but-
lot of different accounts for a lot of different things
Yeah.
for sure. But all I'm saying is this type of stuff is
No, but which one do you
stressful
think
and
is better?
complicated.
Which one do you think is better? Signing up everything with your Facebook or having it where it's your email?
I mean, they're both risky in their own way. Facebook's good because it's an easy click, and Facebook is pretty good at authenticating you for sure. But a lot of people get their Facebook hacked all
I
the time
know.
because it's when they say hacked, it just means they have terrible digital security. They probably have a simple password, or they probably provided their password to somebody in some way that it was not Facebook. You know, like when you sign up for one of these like Instagram apps and it takes you to a page and says log in with your Instagram account. Like I'm not fucking typing in my fucking password into this website that pops up on your thing. Like I don't know if this is officially Instagram or this is you.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it goes through the actual like app where you hit a button on like Facebook or Instagram. And that is legit. You know, that's like secure because that's all run through Instagram. But when it's just like provide your login password for this, it's like that could just be some dude who set up a form and is like, hey,
That's
give me
so
your Instagram name and your
scary.
password. And you're like, here's my
I
password.
know.
I got hacked. How did this happen? It's like you
Can't even
you gave
tell,
them your
though.
password.
It's so
Well, you
scary.
can. You just got to think about this stuff, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, some of the things are obvious, but some of it is not so obvious. Oh, God. I remember back in the day, too. On my Toshiba, I got a little thing saying, like, viruses, blah, blah, blah. So I clicked on it to clear out because I was like, no, it's like a newish
yeah.
computer. And called the person up. Gave them my fucking information, gave them access to my computer.
Oh my
like,
God,
yeah,
so
they like
dumb.
came through and like this or that,
People who do that. I'm like,
and I'm pretty sure it was a
That's why it's so easy to
situation.
get old people. It's like they don't know what this stuff is.
I know.
Oh, you need me to type in here and you'll log into my computer and fix it?
I know.
Cool. And they just have access to everything, all the
Yeah.
files, all your accounts, just fucking anything.
It's so bad.
And they can just spy on you in the future. They could just put like key loggers and see what you're typing.
Yeah,
So
afterwards, because I was just like so nervous because I used it for school and whatnot. I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to take care of this. I can't get a virus.
yeah. No, I know your digital security has been terrible, but I am training you in the ways of the internet, but it has still got some holes in it. Hence today's Uber Eats fiasco. I like how this whole first part of this podcast has turned into a tech talk podcast. I finally made it happen. We said this was only going to be quality
And
time.
everybody
about,
needs to hear this, though.
Yeah,
this
this
is a
is
very
important.
important thing. Online security
I
is
know.
extremely important.
and I am going to restructure my own security because of this tomorrow. And I'm going
Yes,
to, I've already
everybody
been
should
helping
tomorrow.
you to also secure all your
I
accounts.
literally have to do everything now. Like, I'm just going to secure my fucking, like,
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah. And I have lots of
My
theories on,
Netflix
on
account
how to do
and,
that
like-
better. Yeah, stuff like that.
So no one goes in there and
you definitely need to
changes
have
my
a like a ranked security
I
threat.
know.
Like not everything is on the same level.
Yeah.
For sure, you don't want somebody just getting access to your Netflix because who knows, they'll get your email address or maybe can get your
Yeah.
credit card information. Who
True,
knows
yeah.
exactly what they can get. But Netflix is not as important as like your bank or your main
Oh, for
email
sure, yeah.
or even like your Facebook or your Instagram or some digital property where if I lose this account, that's like my business or
Yeah.
something like that. So you have to kind of rank things based in
I know.
order
And
of
unfortunately,
importance.
I didn't think Uber would be that important.
I know, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Because that seems like such an obvious, even if they got it, it's like, okay, they order one or two things off. But when
know.
it's just order after order after order, you think
Oh,
Uber
but shit
Eats
ton
would
of money.
literally be like, this is
Yeah.
something's wrong here.
Over $50 every time. Like, that's
Get your
insane.
shit together, Uber Eats.
Yeah. Get yourself some live people to talk to when I have some complaints.
Good luck. Have you seen the modern world, Erin? Nobody is going to get people to sit in a room all day waiting for you to call so they can help you. No, they're going to say, here's
Uber
a
would
website,
get a lot of calls,
click
first
this
of all.
button and send this email form to somebody who's never going to read it because there's millions of customers and we don't give a fuck about you.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But they would get a lot of calls. That one time when we were working, when we used to work Uber Eats and stuff like that, when we work Uber Eats and stuff like that, what was it? When their system crashed. And like we were out driving and we didn't know where to go because their system wasn't working anymore. Their app wasn't working.
Yeah, but that's different.
No, yeah, but like there was nobody to call for like this or that.
Well,
It's
I
like,
think
that's
when I
why
was
they
doing-
need human beings.
Yeah, but that's expensive,
To
and that's
call.
why they don't do that. They're not
Yeah.
here to help you. They're here to take your money and not ever deal with
I
you.
wish we would have gotten a better meal that time. We just got McDonald's and it was only like
yeah.
one sandwich. I was like, there's fucking two of us. Like, can we get like the steak dinner?
Yeah, because
Like-
if you can't deliver the food for some reason, they just basically let you keep it.
Yeah, that
Right.
time for sure. Because we didn't know where to deliver the food. It wouldn't show up on the app because the
Yeah.
app crashed. And we had just picked up an order.
But when I was Googling things for looking up how to solve your issue with the
Yeah.
Uber Eats thing, the only contact numbers I could find where you could talk to somebody was if you're a driver or a worker for them. They want to help their drivers.
That's
They
true,
want to
yeah.
help their workers, but they don't give a fuck about the customers.
Yeah.
mean-
Too many people just bitch and complain.
Yeah.
Like, my food was cold.
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't want you calling.
Sucks. Like,
Go read the fine print. Go look at this website.
Yeah, we
There's an
cannot control
FAQ that says, what do I do if my food's cold? Click this button and send that to
Put
somebody
it
who's
in
not
the
going to read
oven.
it too. Yeah.
heat it up yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, that was stressful.
Yeah.
That wasn't, we were going to do a nice little podcast today,
I know.
talking about just other things. And then right as we go to do the podcast, she sees order after order after order.
I was
of
so
Uber
glad
Eats
that I
going
was
through.
cooking food because that's kind of like a Zen thing for me, like chopping up, and preparing.
It's a
and
Zen
cooking.
thing for me too, because I just get to sit here and wait for delicious dinner. Your food was really good today.
Thank you.
You made homemade sloppy joes,
Homemade sloppy joes.
turkey,
Yeah, turkey
ground
meat,
turkey with some
green peppers,
made
onions.
from scratch.
Yeah, garlic,
seasons.
and then my homemade sloppy joe sauce.
Super good.
Yeah. Bomb.
Yeah.
So I was
Even
very
though
glad.
it was very stressful while you were doing it.
Well, yes, that part. But then once I
Not the
kind of
cooking
got
part,
all the
but
information,
the,
then I could like kind of forget about everything. Because when I
Yeah.
cook, I just get in my zone,
yeah,
and all I think about is that.
that's a good trait to have
Mm-hmm.
in a girlfriend, because then she'll always cook for you when she's mad, because that's the way she deals with her.
And I clean.
Yeah.
I
It's
clean
like,
too.
oh, Erin's mad. Now she's going to clean up after me and cook for me. I don't know.
You're so fucking lucky.
I don't know if I can forgive her.
I saw that meme today where
What's
it's just
that?
like, have you ever lived with a girl that is just
Oh, yeah.
what was it?
Oh, well, you didn't tell me the whole thing, but, well, it was paraphrasing, but like, who's always, there's shit out everywhere, but
it's
they
like
know
a frat
exactly where it
house.
is.
No, where they don't. It's a frat house
Yeah.
but instead of beer cans, it's wine bottles, and
It's like how
everything's
girls are
nowhere.
a fucking wreck.
Yeah.
And usually have bathrooms full of makeup and all kinds of shit and clothes laid out everywhere.
everywhere, yeah.
And there's a bunch of girls like that. Mm-hmm. And you are definitely not that.
Not me.
No. Your
I
shit's
clean once a
always
week.
in the same place.
Yes.
You know exactly where it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty much never left out.
If you move something, I will more than likely know
No.
once I see it. I'll be
Except
like, that
when
has
I
moved over an inch.
Except for when I move all the chips
Oh, I know
into
that.
my mouth.
Yeah, into
and
your
eat
stomach.
them.
I definitely noticed that.
No. Refer to our episode 1 or 2 or
I'm also just like
who knows
extremely
anymore.
aware.
Yeah.
Like if I just everywhere that I, ish kind of like I can't tell if someone got like a new haircut or whatever, but in my surroundings
you
more.
Barely even noticed my haircut when I
did
was
notice
sleeping
that.
and you came home at 2 a.m. and I had done it. You didn't
saw it the
notice
next
while I was
day.
laying in bed.
Oh, the next day I saw.
I know.
And I liked it.
I'm surprised you couldn't
I
tell
rubbed your head.
the huge change of 3/4 inch down to 1/2 inch. Or however long it was.
Mm-hmm. No, the only reason why I noticed is because when I went to the bathroom, there were 3 hairs on
Probably.
the counter.
I believe it.
I was like, those were not there.
Dude, I try to clean it up, but what am I going to
You're
do?
very good.
Yeah.
You're really good.
Only because I have to. I'd rather
Yeah.
leave it. But those are the small,
I know.
what's
for
the
me.
word? Compromise.
Yeah.
Isn't that what a relationship's all about? Compromise?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the small compromises I make of, I guess I'll clean up the hair from the sink.
That I put there.
Yeah, but I mean, I put them in my own bathroom, but I never have to worry about my own bathroom because I can clean it later.
Mm-hmm. When we build a house,
Yeah.
you're going to have your own side of the house.
Deal.
Your own bathroom.
That's great for me.
You can just take care of that. I
Okay.
will never go in there.
Awesome.
Ever. So
You say that about this office and you come in here all the time.
that's because the thermostat's in here.
Uh-huh.
And because I just like to see you sometimes.
You just always like to bother me. Knock, knock. I'm coming in.
Since there's no door,
No.
I just have to say knock, knock. And then I look through the curtains. And I peer in.
And then you just walk on in like you own the place.
Yep. I'm like, hi.
Mhm.
Just wanted to say hello. And
So
get
I'd
a
totally
hug.
be down to have my own wing of the house
Yeah.
with a tripwire and an
know,
alarm
with a
system and
code
security
system,
camera and 3 layers of secure doors.
Dual authentication.
Yes. You better keep track of your email and your
Yeah.
dual authentication numbers. Otherwise, you're never going to see me again.
I'll
I'm
just have
sorry. You have been locked out of this account.
to poke out your eyeball. Use that.
Beep, beep. You've been watching too many Tom Cruise movies.
Chop off your thumb.
Yeah.
Use your fingerprint.
That's why I don't even do that on my phone. I don't even have the fingerprint thing because I think it's super insecure if somebody really wanted to get into your phone. I mean, most people are.
So you just have a passcode, like that's
well,
better.
that's a lot harder to just like
I mean, I guess
get
someone
against your
won't
will.
take off your hand.
Yeah, you can't just
in
like
there.
force somebody. Like, I mean, like if you get pulled over with a cop or something, you know, like everybody thinks it's about like a girlfriend, which it is. I definitely have had crazy exes that if I was sleeping would most definitely put my thumb up. Luckily, I didn't have that technology when I dated them because the iPhone was very new, and you don't do that, so I don't have to worry about that. But definitely things like if somebody did really want to fuck you over and they needed access to your phone, it'd be pretty easy to get it through a thumbprint, either through force or whatever. But definitely something common like getting pulled over. If a cop wanted to just, you know, you're in handcuffs and he just puts the phone up to your thumb, boom, your face. I'm at a bar drunk and I can just take your phone and do that. Like, fuck that. That's not secure at all.
Yeah.
And people want the convenience, but I think it's perfectly convenient to type in a code. It's very hard to get that. You have to like get it and remember it, and then you got to get my phone away from me all, you know, together.
Yeah.
It still can be done, obviously, if somebody really wanted to, but it's just a longer thing than just grabbing your phone off the table and taking it. No.
Definitely.
Little things, but I think about that stuff. You definitely have
got
not
the
as
code.
much, but now you are. But it took losing your phone to realize, oh shit, I should put a code on this.
Just because you said something, but yeah.
Because I said, I told you so. Aren't those the words you hate to hear? Told you so.
And you love to say them. That's for sure.
Well, when I spend so much time talking to a wall about certain issues. Like, hey, this is really going to fuck you over one day, Erin. I'm telling you now.
It didn't
it's
fuck
gonna
me
be
over,
fine.
but I
It's
don't
not
want
just
it to
your
fuck
phone.
me
You know,
over.
there's other things I tell you. Don't keep doing this or you're going to really fuck yourself. And when that day comes,
Okay, Dad.
yes, somebody's got to do it. If you refer to our previous episode, somebody's really got to do it because he's not here to.
Oh,
Too soon. Too soon, bro. But yes, I get that a lot. It sucks, but also I'm sorry that I'm a mature, wise person who understands the threat of the world.
No, it's okay. I
And,
definitely need someone like that.
Somebody's got to look out for the worst case scenarios.
For me.
Yeah.
It's like you care or something.
Not true. I would tell you how much I don't care, but we have a commercial break now, so I will be right back after a word from our 0 sponsors because we have 50 listeners to this podcast.
Ba-dum-bum.
Boom.
Oh, that was a good one.
Did you just make our intro song again?
Yeah, you added
One
into
of these
it.
days,
I like it.
I will have an
Use
intro
that?
song
Oh.
because I told you this week. What did I not give you a little task for the week? Remember in all these episodes when you said, I'll help you with anything you need, Nick? And I was like, oh yeah, let me teach you how to edit, or let me teach you how to design graphics, or let me teach you how to do all this keyword research or all this fucking stupid tech shit. Or,
Yes.
hey, Erin, could you maybe just pick out a nice little intro song for us? Here's the websites that I'm going to get songs from.
I just started my new Instagram.
And what did
so
Erin do? Except not that all week.
I've been working on my Instagram
Because it's
game.
so hard
Go follow
to just
me.
listen to a few songs.
Namaste, Erin. The E's are together. Erin spelled E-R-I-N, not A-A-R-O-N.
So just one E.
Yeah.
Namaste, Erin.
Namaste, Erin, 18.
As in
2018.
2018, not she's 18, which is what I told her everybody thinks when you see a screen name
Well,
with the
I
word
don't want
18.
2018, but it had
It
to be
just is
different.
a throwback to
because
the days of
someone is Namaste,
age,
Erin.
sex, location. Oh, good. She's 18. It's in her username. Now I can
remember
proceed
that.
with my original plan of action. If it was Namaste Erin 17, I'd be like, nope, no, bro, can't talk to her. And little did you know, she meant Namaste Erin 2017.
Yeah, I just didn't want all of those numbers, but I had to have something different that was meaningful.
Yeah.
Since Namaste Erin was taken by a girl who has one post and her last post was in 2013. Please give me your page,
We'll get it
girl.
over time.
Yeah.
We're going to hack into
I just
her
got my
account
website.
and steal it from her.
know.
So she gets a little taste of
I'm going to call up those guys.
our bad karma, your bad karma.
Whoever was in India that hacked me. Fucked up.
I don't think you're going to narrow it down. There's like 1.5 billion people there.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well,
It was one of them.
Get on it, Nick.
Yeah. I'm not going to
Find
spend too
out.
much time on it. But I
Hack
will
the
spend a
hackers.
lot of time telling you how to secure your accounts.
Telling me, I told you so.
If you guys want to hire me to be your digital security consultant, please go to nickmakesmedia.com,
He obviously
which
sucks. Just kidding.
is not set up yet because that's how much I'm succeeding at all these different things I'm supposed to be doing for this podcast and for my website and for my social media.
Did
and
you already
for,
buy your URL?
I did.
Good for you.
I started designing the website, but
Yeah.
it's not quite up yet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I bought my domain name.
Cool.
Yeah. Soon I'll work on that. That's why I've been kind of putting off our theme song, and I'm sorry, but this week I will get on that. But two, I've been already singing our theme song, so
I have to give, I can't really give you shit for procrastinating on things about this podcast because I procrastinate on everything, but I at least have somebody else to blame now besides myself for why things are not getting done. A lot is getting done, but it's just, there's still so much to do. Mm-hmm. I made some progress on our podcast design.
I know I like
I
it.
set up our YouTube thumbnails. I made a banner image.
Yeah.
You know, I finished our cover photo, this is just the photo, but the actual cover for the podcast. You know, I'm giving a little design to it.
I like it.
It's coming together.
I like the colors too.
Narrowing down the color scheme. Yeah. You know,
It's really
these
good.
things I think about.
Yeah.
I care a lot about design. I really like good design, and I think I have a good knack for spotting good design. I have good taste, but I don't have good technical skill in creating it, you know? Like I can easily spot what I like and like I have a vision for what I want to create.
Yeah.
But it takes me a lot of trial and error to put the pieces together because I'm just not very skilled as a designer, but I'm good at like
knowing what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Like seeing the final picture or like approving or disapproving of things. But I have to like, so just like simple things like picking a font. Like it takes me forever to like go through all the different fonts, and I don't know like
There's so many.
I need specifically like a sans serif font versus a blocky font versus like a thin font. Like I kind of have a look that I'm going for, but I just have to try a lot of things out until I'm like, okay, I like that. I like this. This will work here. This is simple for me to make. And it's
That's
like
time consuming.
all of my designs too, because I did a lot of design for when I did games, you know, iPhone games. I had to design all of those, and I had to do very simple blocky type designs because that was within my wheelhouse of just my design skill. But
that's all different too, because you have to like type that out.
Well, yeah, there's different nuances to designing for games than just for images for like a podcast logo or whatever. But I have to design in a way that it is manageable so I can't just come up with some fancy design that I know is going to look good, but it's going to take me a fucking hour to do every thumbnail for every episode of this podcast that I do because like I'm not very faceted or it's not like easily like editable, you know? So I have to create something that's just simple and I can manage that file and open it up and quickly change it to whatever I need. So it's like, I just find my ways within my limitations.
Yeah, because too, over time it can evolve as well.
Yeah.
If you hire someone or like your skills improve or whatever too, or like it gets easier.
So it's just, it's time consuming. It's not difficult, but it's like, it'll take me 3 weeks to like get our look together of like, what is the colors and the logo and the whatever, and then once I have that honed in, then it's
3
done.
weeks,
and you just
that's fucking great.
It's been like 5 weeks. What is this? This is episode 6, so it's been 6 weeks.
That's not long at all. That's really good. You're very fast.
I can do it way faster than that. It's just I procrastinate. It takes for a while.
Why the fuck, Nick?
Exactly.
Do you suck?
That's how I feel all the time because I'm like, I mean, I can put this together in an hour, but it takes me fucking weeks to like figure out what I want to do and like just settle on something. I don't know. So I'm putting the pieces together, but we do still have things to do for this podcast. We need a song.
Yeah.
We need a little intro song. And then once we have the song and then we have the logo and we have the colors, then we have a bit of a brand that we're going for. Then I got to do like a little video animation maybe for the YouTube. None of these things have to be done, but these are things that are polishes that do help in the long run of like branding a channel and getting people to click. You know, the thumbnail matters, the titling matters, keywords matter. All of these things have to be learned and, you know, tested
like pop out at you. So where you're like, ooh, what's that?
Exactly.
The clickbait.
So I'm working on bringing it together.
Yeah.
We still have pieces.
Can I just say, for all of you watching on YouTube right now, this little plant with its little Christmas hat is so adorable.
Well, the plant does really bring the whole thing together. I've
does.
loved the vibe since we got the plant and the like bigger screen so we can throw something up.
Too.
I think it makes it look
It
much
looks
better
really
than
great.
Before.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the little Santa hat on there.
No, it's so cute.
A little Christmas festive.
This little snowman.
Yeah, but now you're just setting it up to where I'm going to have to decorate for every holiday, put little touches in here.
I'm super excited for Easter because I have a bunch of stuff.
I got President's Day covered. Can't wait to put
your mug.
Well, yeah.
Your president mug.
I drink out of that every day. So I can memorize the presidents. Still haven't done it. I started to, though. I really do try to memorize them all.
That's interesting.
I used to remember them all. In like 5th grade, I used to know all the presidents.
Wow.
Like in order and years and stuff.
When Clinton was a president?
Yeah. You're right. He was.
I know he was.
Yeah.
That was probably how old you were?
No, in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Clinton was in the White House.
Yeah.
5th grade.
Damn, I'm pretty good.
5th grade was the year the O.J. Simpson verdict came in, the trial, and we all watched it. Like, I remember exactly where it was. Yeah, it was a big deal.
Wow.
It was such a big deal. Like, stopped
crazy.
everything.
Yeah.
Everybody tuned into it.
Dang.
You know, you got to think these teachers are like 20, 25, 30 years old, and they're all invested in this.
Wasn't that like one of the first big like cases broadcast on TV?
Yeah, it was a huge thing. It was like, you know, and I was
things-
too young to realize
Things like that weren't broadcasted.
Well, it was just such a big name because O.J. Simpson was such like an American hero, and he was just such a big celebrity, and everybody knew and loved him.
Yeah.
And it was such a racial thing, but I didn't know that. You know, I'm in 5th grade. I have no concept of like racial issues in America or anything like that.
Yeah.
But that was the reason that everybody was very much in tune with it, because it was on the back of like the Rodney King beating in L.A., where cops basically beat up Rodney King, and it was all captured on video, and there was a bunch of riots in LA, and there was a bunch of racial tension between the police and the black community, and this was like a big cultural thing on the back of that, where it was kind of the black community's way to give like a fuck you back to like the cops and just say, you did this to us, we're gonna fucking get this guy off because this is finally somebody we can get off, even though he's clearly guilty.
Get off.
And I think oh, way to make it sexual. I mean, even the murder.
Weirdo.
But how do we get on that subject about Rodney King and OJ? About the trial in 5th grade. It was just such a big thing because everybody was like watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about 5th grade and Clinton being in the White House.
Yeah, so you're talking about memorizing the presidents.
Yeah, memorizing the presidents, all because of our festive thing. And look, we just worked our way back to exactly where we were. So,
very nice plant.
Point is, we need to decorate. I know we're getting on this whole like racial history of America. I'm like, we could get down this. I think it's fascinating, but yeah, no. So we have to decorate for every different holiday that comes up. We'll just put a little touch in here.
For Easter, when I was in like preschool or something
like that. Can we just put a
that.
big boulder and just say that and never move it so Jesus can never get out of the cave?
No. So I mean, like there was an
He's a Holy
carton.
Spirit, but the rock has to move for him to ascend to heaven because he can't just fly through it as a fucking spirit. It's almost like somebody else moved the rock and took his body out.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, have you heard of medieval time or ancient times? Like they did a lot of shit.
Let me tell you.
I'm trying to mock Jesus.
My little egg carton, and I had little yellow cotton balls, and I made them into little chickens.
I don't just want to celebrate Christian holidays around here, okay? Let's celebrate some non-Christian holidays.
But I'm just saying, that's Easter. That's what I have for Easter that I'll have in here.
Easter's overrated.
I made
Easter's
that,
a pretty crappy holiday. Like, where do you put Easter on the rank of holidays?
I loved Easter egg hunting. That was so fun. And getting the Easter basket because I would get like a new swimsuit and stuff. Oh, well, I mean, look, I
definitely enjoy waking up anytime that there's gifts for me waiting downstairs. Great. Gifts and candy, yes. Yeah. Anything that's just for me, hell yeah, sign me up. But that's just still...
That's
Easter
where I
learned
sucks. My first.
I mean, Christmas is awesome, and it's so like long, and it's such like a time of year. Easter is like one day, and it's literally built around church. I just remember all it meant was I had to wake up early to go to church.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like normal church. It was like even more stressful, more like you got to dress up even more, which you already hate to do. And then it's not even worth like at least Christmas when you have to go to Christmas church, you know, like, dude, I'm getting a bunch of fucking presents tomorrow. Like, this is going to be a whole event. We got so much food, so much cookies, so much music, so much shit.
We didn't have to go to that stuff.
Oh, we did, man. We did them all, and it was such like an event, and I just hated it.
Sometimes we did, but like not really. Not that I remember. I remember one time going to the Christmas one when I was like a little older, and it went on for fucking ever. It goes on so long, and it was finally towards the ends of it, and I was like, yes, we can go home and stuff. And then the priest had to thank 50 people, and I just did this loud ass yawn, and everybody like turned and looked at me.
They're all like,
I was just like, can you hurry up? Like, we're fucking tired and want to leave. Like, it was so funny. But I'm like, hit me and stuff.
So
like,
did
do
you,
that.
you didn't go to church like every single week? And
Oh, yes.
Like, so
yeah. And I went to Sunday school and everything. I did the whole
just
thing.
Another, yeah.
But I don't really remember us going to like the holiday ones because it was extremely crowded. And two, I think like my dad was very busy all the time. And so it wasn't just going to be like my mom and I, or like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
That's, yeah. My parents put way more emphasis on the holiday ones. Like, we have to go to this one.
Yeah.
This is so important. Even like when we started.
No,
like,
ours was every Sunday. So that's why we didn't have
well, we
to go
did.
to
That's the thing is we did that too. It's like we always had to go to church. So we were, I mean, it was just full on every Sunday. This is a very important thing to do. And I always fucking hated it. But
So
then it
glad
was
we didn't have
even
that
more
holiday.
stressful on the holidays because
Yeah.
it's like, it's just, it had all the parts you hate just turned up to 10, you know? You got to get even more dressed up.
always
There's
just-
even more people there.
Yeah.
It's even more serious. Your mom and dad are even more stressed. You got to get there on time. And it's like, it's not even on Sunday morning now, Christmas time. It's like, it's fucking 6
Whatever
o'clock
day.
at night. You have to
Yeah,
go
on
for
a
the
Wednesday.
night mass. It was, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember when
God, that seems like such a lifetime ago. Going to church.
yeah.
I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore. No offense to anybody who loves church, but church sucks and it's boring and it's
Oh.
weird and it's dumb.
I would just like play in church, and like my dad and I used to just like talk the entire time, and it like my mom would get so mad and she like tell us to like stop talking and stuff.
Yeah.
He was like such my friend. And then too, I'd like play with my little dinosaurs, like because I was an only child and I'd be bored as fuck. I'd just like sit down on the pew and just like
Yeah.
and just like play with myself.
We had a
and then-
huge family with a bunch of siblings, so we just all fucked with each other the whole
Yeah,
time
I
and just
bet.
got in fights with each other. And my mom also got very pissed. And it was just stress all the time.
Yeah.
It was never fun.
I
Even when
loved
it
going
was
to the
fun.
chapel more because that was very quick service. Because I think we just mostly watched it on like the TV, but we sat in the other chapel because of the overflow. It was
Yeah.
so packed
On
and
Christmas?
stuff. No. Normally, because we went to a really big church where there's like a lot of people, and if you showed up late, there wouldn't be enough room, so you'd have to go to the chapel and sit and watch. And then we always got out first then, because the chapel there's like 50 people or something like that, and there in the church there's like hundreds of people, and so like it was nuts. And so like you got out first so you could go to the donuts first and stuff,
Yeah.
and like
that
cut
is
the
the
line
only
and
perk I
everything.
remember from church was I'm beelining to these donuts.
So
at
that's the thing.
end.
We only
they
went
have
to
to
the
bribe
donuts
people
after
to
chapel.
come to church for donuts,
Yeah, 'cause, like, the line would get so
and they
long.
get like fucking glazed donuts.
So good.
So I mean they are
love
good, but
glazed
also I was
donuts.
like get something a little
those
fancier.
are my favorite, honestly. Glazed, simple.
I mean, yeah,
pure,
definitely now.
delicious. Yeah.
I mean,
They're so
I don't
good.
need all the fancy now, but when you're like 10 years old, give me the fucking chocolate stuffed double chocolate.
I never got donuts when I was younger though. We never like got sweets really. We never
I know,
did
you
any
never
of
had a
that.
childhood.
So glazed donuts were like, oh my God. Like, fucking amazing.
Well, I would definitely like Jesus more
And I
if he
had a
gave me a better
childhood.
selection of donuts.
It was just a
I think that's why I'm an
healthier
atheist now.
childhood.
It's because they only got the glazed. Sorry. I expect more from Jesus. You can turn water into wine, but you can't turn these glazed donuts into chocolate donuts. Fuck you, Jesus. You're not all powerful.
I saw too
Even fucking Kroger can do that.
at church.
Publix, no problem. Dunkin' Donuts, dude, they got it. They're getting paid $7.15 an hour, and they can change that donut out to something better. You can't do it. You're the Lord of the world. You're a Lord and Savior, but you give us glazed donuts.
So the people who like hand out the wine and stuff
Not
like
impressed.
that, they are allowed to, if there's still wine left, they just chug the rest of that
Well,
because it's the blood of Christ.
Yeah.
You cannot waste it.
and you know what they're really drinking is a bunch of backwash from 400 or 500
Yeah.
random parishioners.
But it was like at the funeral, no one really drank like the wine, I guess. So they just like slugged it back. And
Dude,
just,
I
like,
would never drink the wine. When we had to go up for communion.
I tried it one time because I was like, yeah, I can get some wine. And then I tried it. I was like, this is disgusting.
I don't mean because of the taste. I mean, like, all they would do, they would stand up there and have you sip out of this cup, and they would just wipe it and turn it and let the next person sip and wipe and turn.
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds and hundreds of people are just drinking out of this one cup. Pure backwash and spit and herpes.
I
And
never
who
thought of that as,
fucking
like, a
know?
kid.
It was so
You get
gross.
first communion when you're
so
10.
fucking gross.
I'm not thinking of that when I'm 10 years old.
I am. I'm
Yeah.
thinking this is weird. This is gross. I don't want to do this.
I was thinking, ooh, am I going to get drunk on
I
this?
didn't
Or,
have
like,
the logical skills and the
what's
debate
this?
skills that I have now, where I could argue with my mom and dad about it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or the priest or the teachers, but in my head, my gut was, this is weird. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And I just didn't do it. I said no. And the older I got, the more strong I got in that opinion of this is dumb too. Now communion, this is dumb. A little fucking wafer cracker, that's Jesus's bot. Get out of here. I'm not eating your stupid cracker. No. Fuck your cracker. I'm not doing it. What, come to church and say these fucking prayers and sing these songs and read words out of a
Some songs I
2,000-year-old book? For what? No, I'm not
Eagles
doing
Wing
it.
Song
This is
so
stupid.
Good, though. Makes me cry.
And the more you start thinking like that, you notice that so much in life and in society, where people just do a bunch of things without ever thinking about, why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we do this? You just do it because your parents did it and everybody around you is doing it, and you just do it.
Once I
No,
found out that
I'm
everything
not
was the
gonna do
same,
it.
yearly we just went over the same thing over and over
Yeah,
and
it's the
over
same
again.
fucking thing.
I was just like, we're reading the same passages.
Dude,
same
this book's
everything. I was
been
just
around
like,
for 2,000
whoa.
years. I can read the Cliff Notes. It's fine.
I mean, we didn't read the Bible when we were in church.
Well,
but
they do. They read passages,
Yeah,
like the
the
gospel.
gospel, yeah.
What do you
I
think that is? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They're just reading the fucking passages from the Bible.
Oh.
And Matthew said to the Corinthians, or whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck, some stupid shit. It's like, what does this have to do with anything? Can I go play Xbox? What is going on here?
Yeah.
What does this apply to my life? Why do I need to know this? This is less useful. Like, I'd rather be learning calculus right now.
Yeah, so same with what was it? Sunday school. There were some of them when I didn't actually have to go, because I think you had to go up to your first communion, but then after that, I don't think I really went. I don't really remember, but I know I
That's
just
when
mostly
you got
went.
to stop.
Yeah, I only went for my friends. Oh no, it was what's that one where you get your name changed?
That is confirmation. That's what I was
Confirmation,
saying.
yeah.
I went all the way through.
So
That's like when you're a teenager.
You get your first communion, and then I skipped a few years, I'm pretty sure, and then I just went to like the year before confirmation because I didn't want to go to this, and two, I think you
This
had to
is some
pay for it or
Catholic
something.
cult shit. If you guys don't know all these terms,
Yeah,
when you're a Catholic,
everybody
you're
knows,
indoctrinated to
pretty
do a
much.
bunch of weird cult things
Yeah.
that are normal because they've been around
I
for
just had my
1,000
friends,
years.
and we just
but
sat
they're
in the
not
back of the
normal
class.
if you think about it for half a second.
and just hung out.
They're just
and did
not
our
normal,
thing.
and it's fucking weird.
And would just watch Jesus Christ Superstar or whatever, like Passion of the Christ. Passion of the Christ. Jesus was super hot though. His long hair. He was looking
this
real good.
is a great story, and I would love to get into it, but we're at the end of this clip again, and this means it's the end of the podcast. That flew by already.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother hour. So
Yeah. Way to cut me off half the time.
I mean, we're gonna have to write down a
never
list of topics
let me
so that way
talk
we can actually talk
like
about.
you're doing right now.
Maybe what we should do is
Typical
just start doing
relationship.
2-hour podcasts.
This is what he does every time
Yes.
I try to talk to him.
We'll talk more next week
cool.
on next week's
You'll overtalk
quality
me
time.
next time too.
Okay. Well, this was a great way to end the show. Praise be to Jesus. Bless you. And also with you, we lift up our hearts. We lift them up to the
Amen.
Lord. Let us give thanks to the Lord our God.
Amen.
It is right to give him thanks and praise. Amen. And we'll talk to you guys next week. I don't know what we talked about on this episode. Jesus and scams.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Bye, guys.
Okay, see you.